The churches who don't invest in the music equipment. The churches that don't invest in the music equipment. What's going on, family? Welcome back to another Real Talk. I pray everybody is doing well. As we off top, give the Most High Yahuwah all the honor, the glory, and all praise and worship. This is a part two, and this is really for keyboard players, musicians, bass players, lead guitar players, whatever instrument you play. Some of y'all are really going to feel this video. And if you caught part one of what I was talking about yesterday about music ministry, then this ties in as I want to close out doing this video. And once again, always speaking from the heart and out of love. The biggest problem, and I've been seeing this stuff all my life, you got a lot of preachers, pastors, different churches who just flat out don't know how to plan stuff. And I mean this out of love, especially. See, it takes a true musician to understand true musicians, or true pastors who understand how true musicians truly operate. That's why I want to use this title. If you grew up like me, you know, especially back then before all this technology came out, when you grew up still learning from the tape decks, you know, if your daddy had a reel, you know, 8 tracks was out back then, but then, you know, CDs started coming out later on, but we learned off, you know, tape decks, spinning at different speeds, going home. That means your songs may be a half step up, a half step off, or a whole step over, depending on how fast your tape deck was spinning when you go home and learn it. Not like now with all the technology, but a lot of pastors just like to throw stuff together, and they let people in position that just throw stuff together. Man, and the Bible say, in all your getting understanding, and the Bible also say, do things in decent and in order. But there are a lot of people that just flat out don't operate that way. Growing up, it was so many revivals stole together, musicals stole together. And just keep this title in your mind while I'm doing this video, because I'm going to get you to that point in a minute. How they always want to throw stuff together, but then they have the raggediest equipment. When you look at the temple that Solomon built, when you go back to the Old Covenant, what they did for the Most High, if you're going to have a church building, I'm just keeping it real, there shouldn't be no such thing as a raggedy church building. Now, I know it's easily on what you believe. If you go to the church, fine. If you don't go to the church, fine. I'm not even in this video to go back and forth about all that. You do what you do. You know, everybody's different. Some go to church, some don't. But if you're going to have a building, it's no way that the church building that you are in should be ran down. Man, I've been to so many people's houses that's just flawless. And ain't no way your house should be flawless like that, and then the church that you go to is just look like a trap house. And I know many churches that look like trap houses, they shacks, and I'm not down talking them. I'm just saying, what's the issue when you continue to keep taking up money after money after money, but your church look like a dope house? But the pastor house don't look like that. And my point is, when it comes to investing in the equipment, now I know a lot of people are old school, man, we don't need no new keyboards, no mics, no, what's wrong with the piano we got, what's wrong with the organ we got, da-da-da-da this, da-da-da-da. That organ been out of tune for 15 years. Let me say this right, the piano been out of tune for 15 years. Pianos have to be taken care of, and a lot of pastors don't understand this. A lot of pastors don't understand about how pianos really need to be cooled off, you know, how they need to be tuned. But if you're a musician, give me a thumbs up. How many times have you went to another church and half of the piano is out of tune? Now let me say what I want to say about the organ, whether it's an A3 or B3 or C3 or whatever. How many times have you went to a church to play the organ and only 6 of the draw boards work? The foot pedals are sticking because they old and the razor blades are broke off on them. If you know about organs, the blades on the end, I call them little razor blades. They bend. The organ ain't been serviced. I'm not talking about all churches. You got that same microphone static and the XLR cable been bad for 20 years. But you won't invest in your equipment. Now here's my point. But you want to keep throwing musicals and have everybody come to your church, but you will not invest in the equipment that you need. I know some of y'all pastors going to get mad. Oh, just come on in the drum set. Man, you ain't putting no new skins on the drum set in 30 years. See, my point is, when it comes to the Holy Spirit, you should have and want and need nice things. How is it you got money to put on everything else, but when it comes to the equipment? And then, I'm going to use myself for an example why I quit doing so much stuff. It takes up a lot of time and it takes up a lot of your money. And this is my issue when these preachers and they invite you. Oh man, you ain't got to worry about bringing nothing. Just come on if you can make it on time. We got everything you need in there. The keyboard is over there, the organ is over there, the piano is over there, the drum set, everything is good. But then when you get to the church, the stuff ain't good. You can't play on none of it. And they don't know because they not musicians. And it's sad when a musician sit there Sunday after Sunday, whatever day you go to church on, and you playing on that same old regular stuff, and then you invite somebody else in on that regular stuff. You get all the way out there, and a lot of stuff that I was doing was like 45 minutes to an hour away. Don't bring nothing, brother, just show up. You get out there, and the stuff is just regular. But then you want me to pack up my equipment and drive way out there, and I'm going to drive longer than I'm going to play. And then on top of that, you still don't want to say, here you go, brother. Let me give you a little something for your time. At least a little something for gas. See, this is what a lot of preachers do. I ain't say all. And you wonder why you drive these musicians in the ground. I'm talking about good musicians. I'm talking about musicians who are loyal, who are faithful. You burn them out. But then you get mad when they go play at the club or somewhere else when they played for you all those years and you didn't want to give them a dime. Here they go with a family or done got laid off. So I'm keeping it real with folk. You down to all they in the club playing in there. But when he came to you, pastor, man, I need help with my family, man. And see, I'm talking about what's real, y'all. I'm talking about what's real. And this is so sad because it's been so much money taken up in these churches that it shouldn't be no reason why you shouldn't have a nice PA system. I ain't saying you got to go out and get the most expensive and, man, get something better than what you got. But a lot of pastors ain't for it. But when it comes to that building fund, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. So it hurts the musician's heart, man. That's why a lot of musicians are to the point now where they don't fool with a lot of these churches because of this stuff I'm talking about. You don't want your musicians to keep packing up, and especially if you go a lot, you travel a lot. And then I understand from another standpoint too, because you don't want everybody playing on your equipment either. Especially if you done got some nice equipment, because you got some drummers out here, man, they'll tear your drum set up on the first song because that's how hard they beat. You got some musicians out here on these basses and lead guitar, they'll blow your amp out, blow your speaker out because that's how loud they play. I used to see musicians go to other churches and tear up their equipment. So I do understand that. Let me rightly divide this. I do understand that. I've seen singers tear up other people's at their church microphones, dropping them, throwing them down, talking about they had the Holy Spirit. And here's a $200 mic you done broke that ain't even 3 months old. I've seen a lot. I know how it go. I never had an issue with somebody playing on my equipment, as long as they play on it with respect and don't dog it out. Especially with these plastic keys, man. It don't take much to break these keys on a lot of these keyboards now, But the thing is, like I said, I know a lot of preachers and stuff get mad when I talk like this because, especially in the old days, man, it's so many pianos they would never tune up. Out-of-tune pianos. And here you are on the piano, and then old Barbara on the keyboard, and you wonder why you can't figure out what key to in, or if you think you're in the same key. It's off still because the piano not tuned. And the keyboard ain't gonna get out of tune because it's digital. Unless you turn the tune knob or the transpose knob, whatever. A piano has to be serviced in tune. The organs, man, need to be serviced. I know a little something about this, man. I used to take organs apart all the time, man. I used to service my own organ, man, all and down to Leslie, man, the horns and getting all the dirt out, man, and just 2 or 3 times out the year. Because when stuff sit up in a hot building, it started messing with it from an electrical standpoint, man, and you got to really understand that. And some pastors are so cheap, they don't want to leave the fans running. They don't want to leave the air on, man. Just leave, man. We just come in here and do this. You have to take care of your equipment. When did the Most High give us anything? Halfway give us anything. That's why I'm using the term shack and crack house and trap houses, man. You come to Dallas, Texas, you see a lot of churches like that, man. And like I said, I'm not saying it to talk bad about the people that's in. I'm just making a fact. Why is it? And you talking about year after year after year. Why is the music equipment still messed up like that? Why? It don't take a lot of money to go out and get some new mics. See, that's why I'm saying some churches are investing in the equipment and then some not. And then the smaller ones, they always talking bad about the mega church because the mega church got all that nice equipment in there, but you done took up enough money in your smaller church to have a nice sound system. Or some may call it a PA system. You should have you some nice stuff. You should have that nice drum set. But everybody's different. And this is why musicians get fed up, tired, woe down. Especially when you are a musician with a regular job, a 9 to 5, and you going to church. You get fed up. You get wore out. But then a lot of y'all, if you're looking at the video, say, man, you wore out, but you're going to continue to operate that way because you ain't all the way fed up yet. And that's what made me, as a musician, make a difference in my life. I can't speak for nobody else. And I have a problem with pastors and people like this who always want to throw on stuff, don't want to plan nothing. And then why is it the musical always got to be at the church with the regularest equipment? But y'all talking about don't bring nothing once again. I have to make that point again. Don't bring them. We got everything you need. In reality, no, you don't. You may got everything there, but that stuff is not working. It ain't worth the damn. It need to go to the trash. You want to invest in a boom microphone stand. Well, you can go Amazon and get this stuff $15. Come on now. It's just the way you go about doing things. And that's why I love to help people out. The way I talk make a lot of people mad because the average one, that they ain't gonna say it the way I'm gonna say it. And I know a lot of people say, well, JT, it ain't so much of what you say, it's how you say it. Let me tell you something, in my life, I come to find out whether I say it the nice way or the raw, uncut way, somebody gonna have a problem with it. So the way it come out is the way it's gonna come out. And it's going to be out of love, either way you look at it. It's just a lot of people can't handle your level of realness. Because I tell a pastor in their face, it's piano raggedy as hell. How long you going to continue to let that lady pound on it? It ain't in no tune. Well, man, they talking about they wanted to charge $85 to come out here and tune it up. Well, get it tuned up. I don't know how much it costs now, because a lot of people start doing it themselves. But my point is, spend that money and get it tuned up. If you can't afford a new one, at least take care of the old one. See, this is another issue that the Holy Spirit is looking at you. You keep crying for God to bless you for new stuff, and you ain't even taking care of the stuff you got right there. I ain't talking about all. You won't even get the organ serviced. You won't get it all down. You won't get the drawboards fixed. You won't get the bass pedal fixed. What does that say? Why would the Holy Spirit bless you with that new stuff? He's saying you ain't even doing nothing with that. And I'll leave on that. Y'all have a blessed day. Shalom.